Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have Perry Van Beek with us. He is a pioneer in social selling with LinkedIn, and with his company, Social.one, has been helping companies with LinkedIn lead generation since 2009. So welcome to the show, man.
Well, thanks, Tyler. Great to be on it.
Of course. Pumped to have you here. And as we were kind of talking about before, I think people are really underestimating the power of LinkedIn. So I'm really excited for this episode. Make sure anybody who's listening, make sure to really listen because LinkedIn is powerful. We'll jump right into the first one, Perry. The first one I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
For my personal life, it's really quite easy. In 2002, I had an appointment in the south of the Netherlands with a guy who was somewhat older, and he was wearing a white coat. And basically, he was telling me, "You're going to have major open heart surgery within 3 months." I was, full of life. I had no idea. I even had something wrong with my heart, and the open heart surgery. I had the open heart surgery 3 months later, and it nearly killed me. They kept me asleep for 3 days, and in those 3 days, they called my wife and my mother into a special room, and they basically told them to prepare for the worst. And I'm still here, so I'm still kicking it. And but it took me 9 months to recover, and in those 9 months, I made a really, really important decision for myself. I was going to stop hitting the snooze button for myself. I was going to grab life, and then really make the most of life, really, really just do things with your life, but make your own choices rather than them being lived, other people's agendas. Make your own agenda, make your own plan. And so I did that. And that's when I decided to become an entrepreneur as well. And, it took me a couple of years to really take that dive, but I finally did it, and I've never looked back. It's the best decision I've ever made, being in control of my own life.
Yes, man. Dude, thanks for sharing that with us, and I'm very happy that everything ended up working out. The next one I have for you is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
The most valuable is of course about LinkedIn. That's my expertise, and the most underestimated thing especially for anybody who's in sales or responsible for revenue or an entrepreneur is have a look at your own LinkedIn profile and have a look at it from the viewpoint of a potential customers. What you will see is something that will actually be repelling them. Most LinkedIn profiles repel customers because they're written. They were written when people were looking for a job. So they were written in an employer-centric way. So, written to attract a new employer, not a new thing. So they were saying, "I'm a quota crusher," and things like that, But, if you're saying I'm a quota crusher, your next customer will be like, "Whoa, I don't want to do business with you if you're going to be crushing my quota." So rather than writing your profile in an employer-centric way, write your profile in a customer-centric way, so that your customer, when he lands on your profile, he starts reading your profile, he's like, "Dude, that's really interesting. That's really, I want to connect with you. What you're writing, that makes sense, and he understands immediately what's in it for them. They understand it. So the what's in it for me comes through."
And what's your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Best piece of overall business advice, it has to do with what I shared earlier. It's really just follow your heart. I mean, really do follow your heart. Often you know best. And I mean, I continue to make bad decisions in life. Everybody does. But whenever I look back and I made a bad decision, I knew from the start. It was like, okay, when you're making that decision, Does it feel right? No, probably doesn't feel. It doesn't feel right, and then but you make it anyway, and it ends up being a bad decision. Just follow your heart, so follow your gut, but try new things. I have my iPad. You know, the screensaver on my iPad. It says "Die with memories, not dreams." So basically, that's what my life is about. You know, you live to the fullest, live to the max, try new things, and sometimes you'll regret things. So what? Move on. Die with memories, not dreams.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Stop your job and start your own business.
Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely. I was 18 and I was dreaming of starting my own business. And my father gave me some advice. He said, because he started his own business when he was 17, and I wanted to do exactly the same thing. But he said, what was missing when I started was a network. I didn't have a network. So first get a job and get another job and get some experience, build up a network, and then when you have a solid network, maybe then you can start your own business. But right now, if you're fresh out of college, even if you're in college, you don't need it. You have a network. It's there. It's LinkedIn. 575 million people who are ready to be reached. You can reach them with one click of a button. It's there for you. So don't wait for. I had a great story. This year, I still had 22 videos that needed editing, and then this young guy, he's 15 years old. He reached out to me on LinkedIn. He said, I'm starting my own business, 15 years old. And I was like, wow, I'm impressed. Cool, 15. And so I asked him, what do you do? He said, I'm a bit in video editing and I do some presentations. So video editing, really? Cool. I have 22 videos here that still need editing. Can you do them? Absolutely. And he worked his ass off. He really worked hard for about a week and a half. And he finished them. And they were near perfect. So I really, really loved them. And I paid him well. And he was like, and my son is 14. I can tell you, he was really jealous of what this guy was earning. So absolutely. And I love that, and it's there. So if you're 15, you can start your own business. That's the entire LinkedIn network is at your disposal. It's there for you. Just, you gotta have the guts to reach out, and not everybody will respond. That's fine. Go to the next, because there will be nice people who respond, and those are the people that do respond are usually the people that you have end up having a better relationship with anyway. So they're more fun.
And yeah, man, I agree. And in your opinion, kind of going down a little bit of a different path. In your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
The key to happiness. The key to happiness is finding something that you really love doing, but don't get stuck on the quest. I've been there. I just really, really looking for what I was doing that I completely forgot what. I was just looking. In fact, this was after my my heart surgery. I quit my job, and I was just so looking for what I wanted to do that I completely lost sort of track of my family, my wife, and my relationships and everything. I was just so focused on finding what I wanted to do that I forgot about life in general. And that didn't make sense. And then 2 months later into that, or 2 or 3 months later into that, my wife came to me and said, I've got really good news. And my first question to her was, what? You know what I want to do? That's just the most stupid answer that you could think of. But really, that was just that was all I was thinking of. And they said, no, I'm pregnant. And I was like, whoa. Okay, yeah, that is much better news. And that made me realize, what am I doing? It's that's not happiness. Trying, just so desperately trying to find, enjoy life as well. So open that bottle of wine, and enjoy life. That's another life motto of mine. Mm-hmm. Life is too short for cheap wine, and definitely too short for cheap wine or whiskey, for that matter.
I agree, man. Nothing like a nice cab.
Exactly.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Actually, the best book I read is one that it's not the best book I've read, but it's been the most life-changing for me. It's Screw It, Let's Do It from Richard Branson. I clearly remember reading this, and this was in 2007 when I still had a job. I found another job and another job, not daring to actually start my own enterprise. And in this book, he says, once life stops being fun, I think it's time to move on. Life is too short to be unhappy. Waking up stressed or miserable is not a good way to live. And I was like, he's talking about me. And that's when I called my boss, I quit my job, and the rest is history. I never would look back. So that's one of the most inspiring books for me, absolutely, by easily.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
I think I already mentioned a couple.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite quotes is actually from Mario Andreotti. If you feel you're in control, you're just not going fast enough.
Yeah.
I love that because I read that quote quite often because it keeps me, that there's no time to relax. You got to keep going. Even if you're, 3 years ago I was nearly in a bankruptcy. But you know what? So what? Get up and go again. And I did, and it's been fun. But you just keep going. So don't relax. Especially not in business. Don't relax. If you relax in business, your competitors will race past you. So yeah. So I like that quote a lot.
I agree, man. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before we let you go, it's kind of funny maybe, but where is the best place for people to find you online? I think I might know your answer.
Well, what up with you? It's definitely LinkedIn, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Come and visit me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/Perry van Beek. Absolutely.
Perfect.
That's the best place to find me online.
Thanks again for jumping on.
Thanks, Tyler, and then enjoy your trip to Europe.
Thank you so much, man.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.